Matt, congratulations on the Player of the Week honor.
Thank you.
There's a lot of talk about, players leaving school early to being able to go on to their professional careers. You've made the other choice, and I would just like to ask you the question, like, what does the academic side of coming back to school, how does that help you to become a better basketball player?
It helps me because it just allows me to expand on my knowledge, expand on my connections throughout San Diego State, and just finish out my academic career here, and ensure that I get my degree.
It's terrific, terrific. Joe Gomez came from a program where he was the man, so to speak, and he's come here, and there's a lot of other players around him. You've spoken in the past about how you were able to last season to be able to defer to some of the players then. Have you been able to help him with that transition, being able to come in and fit into a team?
Yes, most definitely. Just talking to Terrell in certain situations, and where the ball usually would be in your hands, and guys kind of wanting the ball in certain situations, but knowingly that there's other guys on the court that can get it done, and not only just myself and Terrell, but Jordan, Trey, and the list goes on. And so it's kind of just knowing that your other teammates can get it done, and having the trust that your teammates can get it done, and just coming in with that full 100%, just knowing all around how it's going to be all season.
To piggyback off that, Matt, with Terrell, I understand you guys had a relationship. You knew each other before he came. I'm sure he called you before he came. What do you tell a guy like that? Same thing with KJ last year. He scored a ton of points, had the ball in his hand all the time, and is now coming to a team that's much more of a team. How do you kind of explain to him how it's going to be different for him?
We just had a little small talks here and there, texting back and forth. I think a couple calls, but just letting him know that it's just a full 1 through 15 game. Not one guy is going to score 30 points a game, but everybody's going to have their fair share and opportunity to put the ball in the basket. But at the end of the day, we play team ball, and we share the wealth.
And do you have to sort of politely say, if you're not interested in that, this isn't the right place for you?
In some sort of way, yes, you do come across it as though, if you're not about team ball, if you're not a team player, then this may not be the right place for you. But at the same time, just knowing Terrell, his competitiveness, his spirit, his fight, he's nothing but a team player, and he just wants to win.
And then one question on Keshad. Obviously, he had a huge couple minutes there in the second half against Irvine. What are your thoughts about his development? I know, Trey said when we asked him about it, he goes, look, we've seen this for a whole year in practice. We were not surprised at all. But what were your personal thoughts on what he did?
Just as Trey said, he's done it before in practice. We were just all waiting for it to translate to the game. I'm happy for Keshad and his coming out, and him finally having the comfortability and confidence to continuously let it go and play at a high level. I think he's come along well. And so, but as Trey said, it's nothing he hasn't done before, and I'm proud of him, and I'm hoping he can do it again.
Hi, Matt. Along the lines of kind of preaching to your teammates that less playing time and maybe handling the ball less can lead to wins that are satisfying. Are you spending time with some of the younger players who, they're obviously stars in high school, who want to play now and probably think they're good enough to play now, but are you spending time with some of the younger guys explaining to them that the winning is worth it?
Definitely. I've definitely spent a lot of time with the younger guys and talking about how my freshman year experience was a little bit different than theirs, and how theirs is going, because I was able to start. I was able to be on the floor right away. But just keeping them engaged, keeping them locked in, and letting them know that their time is coming. So it's definitely not. It's definitely a mental thing, more than anything else. Just coming in knowing that you were the star at your high school, and you're expected to come into college and and all of your friends and whatnot are expecting you to come into college and play huge minutes, and that may not be happening. So at the end of the day, you just got to stay locked in and know that your time is coming soon.
And do you know if there was anything that, probably a question for Keyshawn, but was there anything that sparked his performance just to put his head down and plow forward and do what everyone else on your team knew that he could do?
I'd like to think the halftime talk I had with him and telling him to let that ball go and have that confidence sparked it a little bit. But I also got to say Keyshawn has always had it in him. He's always had that fight, that dog, that confidence to know that he's not only the guy that can jump out the gym, but he's the guy that can get it done from the three-point line, from the mid-range at all three levels. So I'm really just happy for him.
What motivated you to talk to him at halftime, and can you let us in on a little bit more of how that conversation went?
For sure. It kind of happened when I was driving and looking to kick, and he was kind of diving toward the rim, and it was just may have happened to be in that at that time. It could have been better for him to stay out on that corner three and take that shot. And so I let him know, and I let him know during halftime. If he's left alone in the corner, don't take up space. Stay open and let it go. And so he started letting it go in the second half and feeling confident. And so I'm happy for the kid. He did what he was supposed to do.
And Matt, so many athletes, whether it be the college or the pro game, have talked about how difficult it is to get hyped, to get ready to play like you used to get ready to play in these empty arenas. That said, did you notice what Sdsu has done to kind of get Viejas more game-like with the pumped-in chant, I believe chant from the show and the cardboard cutouts? And did that help you? And how difficult was it to play in that empty arena after you've been there for so many big moments and not to have it packed like previously?
I can say that it's definitely a hard thing to play without the fans, and we are very supportive of knowing that our fans always have our back. But at the same time, our crew did a wonderful job of pumping that crowd noise in there and the "I Believe" chant before the game, and all the different music before the game, the intro video. So they really did a good job across all bases in making it feel more game-like, and helping us both sides get ready and prepared for an actual game, as though the fans would be there. So I can definitely say that I feel more game-like as we get into it.
Hey man, I'm piggybacking off Todd here. How much do you notice stuff like, I guess specifically the "I Believe" chant before games? I mean, we hear from athletes all the time that you're so much in the zone that you don't notice a lot of this stuff. How much do you notice that before games in past seasons?
I did notice the first game and in past seasons. I've noticed the "I Believe" chant, the song that the crowd sings as the clock is winding down. So it's just things and kind of things I noticed my freshman year and just being a deer in the headlights and playing in front of 12,000 people. And so the things that just stuck along with me and the rituals that the fans have, and they're all amazing. And our crew was just as amazing as relaying that and being able to bring that back to our game.
Were you surprised when they had kind of the virtual rendition of "I Believe" before the game, or did you know that was coming? And what was it like to see that?
I did not know that was coming. So it was very a pleasant surprise, and I was glad to see it. And I was just glad to know that the fans are still a part of it.